Module 5, next level thinking. So, learning to integrate quality with quantity, understanding that opportunities lie on a spectrum, they are not binary. Using higher level thinking, that is, thinking beyond the obvious, the superficial, and the oversimplified. Reverse engineering and deconstructing the market's narrative, and thinking in terms of you versus the market before we finish off with traps and reversals. So, integrating quality with quantity. Invest in greatness is not about buying the best company, and it is not about buying the lowest price to sales, price to book, price to earnings company either. It's about finding ways to blend the two intelligently. Major trap, extremely difficult. Almost nobody can do this. Let's illustrate. So, the first circle is the quality, a company's fundamentals, its moat, how much value it can create, the robustness of the business, the future. The second circle is value, price, cheapness, valuation. What you want is the sweet spot. You want to buy a great business when the valuation makes sense. If you manage to blend these two, then your forward returns will be much, much higher than somebody who just buys quality at the valuation that the market gives him at the time, with no regards to the price they're paying. And so, on average, yes, they may do well, but how well? And you don't want to be someone who looks for superficial value, superficial cheapness, and does not understand the business. A company that sells for a cheap valuation but has no competitive advantage over time, it creates no value. So you don't want to be binary. You want to focus on the sweet spot where the two meet. Opportunities lie on a spectrum. So as we've said, things are not binary. Things are not good or bad. Things lie on a spectrum. Why do things lie on a spectrum? Because price changes the risk reward. Let's illustrate with a visual. So this is the spectrum. Let's make it vertical. Price here is expensive. Price here is cheap. And here is fair or average. What happens when you buy expensive? You buy the greatest business in the world, but you pay an expensive price for it. On average, you will make an average return. If you pay a fair price, you will make a fair return. And if you pay a cheap price, on average, you will make a great return. So this is the spectrum. The same business, paying a different price for it gets you a completely different result. So when somebody tells you it's a good opportunity or it's a bad opportunity or don't buy that, think deeper. Charlie Munger likes to describe the stock market using the analogy of the pari-mutuel betting system, and I think it's a great one. The model I like to sort of simplify the notion of what goes on in a market for common stocks is the pari-mutuel system at the racetrack. If you stop to think about it, a pari-mutuel system is a market. Everybody goes there and bets, and the odds change based on what's the bet. That's what happens in the stock market. So as we explained in the previous slide, Charlie here says that the stock market is like the horse track. People bet on horses, and the odds change according to the money that is bet on each horse. So if everybody believes that if everybody believes that a business is great and they bid up its price, then the forward returns on that stock go down because everybody thinks it's a great business. If a business is not that great and everybody thinks so, then again, the forward return could be better than they expect. You understand? So what investors think about stocks changes the returns on those stocks. Using higher level thinking. What is higher level thinking? So first level thinking is simple, oversimplified, superficial, linear, basic, all that. Second level is more nuanced, deeper, and you use it to see further, think better, make better decisions. So think that the first level is the tip of the iceberg, and the second level is everything that you don't see, that you need a bit more thinking to understand. And I have some examples. Apple has rallied 10 times in 10 years. It must be a great investment. That's what the first level says. The second level says Apple has benefited from multiple expansion and passive investing. Future returns will probably be not that great. More examples. First level. XYZ energy company has not done well the past few years, so the stock is dropping. I should dump it for greener pastures. Second level. Crude oil has dropped materially since post-COVID. If it recovers, XYZ will rally too. Some more examples. This stock is down 80%. It's extremely cheap. The second level says the thesis could be completely broken. Price alone does not make it cheap. And the last example, Nvidia is dominating AI. This is a must buy and hold forever. The second level says Nvidia's valuation already prices in a lot of that. Any slowdown or change in the competitive landscape could hit it hard. So what all these examples are saying here is that many times what investors and the market seem to believe about a certain situation, a business, a stock, a sector, or the economy, many times it's oversimplified, it's superficial, and it lacks essence. And when you apply second level thinking to the same situation, the way you think about it changes. Your thesis changes. You see further, you think better, you get a differentiated view and a variant perception from the rest. And that gives you an edge many of the times. And then you use your thesis to compare with the market's thesis and make better decisions. And we'll look into this in this module. So, deconstructing the narrative. So,